Morning, everybody. Just want to go ahead and test my audio real quick. Make sure we're all good to go. Morning, everybody. Just want to go ahead and test my. Alright, looks like we're good. Okay, so I wanted to start off the live stream by going in and someone in our Discord requested that we kind of go over the process of what it looks like in determining our bias and just kind of getting an understanding on what we're looking for the open. So I haven't looked at the chart at all. Every night, what I do is I mark out my previous day high, my previous day low, and kind of just any salient PD arrays on the daily chart around us. Um, so I like this daily volume imbalance right here, and then we have this one right here. So it's kind of really the only near-term um, things I'm looking at. Typically, it's more, but if we do a 20-day look back from here, and I also want to preface this by saying that I haven't looked at the market at all yet today because I wanted to make it as authentic as possible on what I'm looking for. So I'm going in with no understanding of what I'm looking at right now, besides on the daily chart. So doing my 20-day look back, right? We want to see 18 bars or 20 bars back. So that's this day right here, day 20. That's primarily what I'm looking at is within the last 20 days and any of those PD arrays that are going to be salient to my analysis. And you can see that we're just in daily chop right now. I thought we were going to be out of it with this move down, came right back up into the range, into this daily suspension block. I thought with this move down, we were finally going to break out and head towards these relative equal lows. Went back into the range, took out this high right here, and then on this move down, right when this was a big black down closed candle, thought we were going to go down for these, and now we're back up in the range. So what I'm seeing right now is we swept this swing low, and since it is staying in somewhat of a consolidation profile, we could end up creating a swing wick right here or a swing pattern after sweeping this, and we could start to see a move higher um, into this region up here. It wouldn't be out of the question for us to go back into this daily volume imbalance, so that's just something that I'm taking note of right here. We also have this volume imbalance from this previous day close to this day open, so I have that. And then I'm just going down to the hourly chart just to kind of start putting the puzzle pieces together, seeing what we've done overnight. So first thing my eye goes to is this fair value gap right here. What's this? Okay, that's the daily volume imbalance. So like I said, this is all authentic. I haven't looked at anything yet. Usually I do this around 8:50 to 9 a.m. just so I have a little bit more time to uh, get it all annotated and then kind of chill for a little bit before New York Open, but didn't want to start the live stream that early. Okay, so this is our new week opening gap. It's extremely large because of what happened over the weekend. So all of these levels right here, I want to keep on the chart. Um, I'm looking at the hourly PD arrays and what we have done with them overnight. And again, my eye went right to here because look at the bodies, respect that. So right now I'm looking at what's order flow doing, right? And does it align with like a higher time frame bias? And right now the higher time frame bias, and again, this is all just piecing things together. It's not this is just what I'm seeing for today, obviously, but this is the same kind of process I'm using all the time. We're in a consolidation profile, so um, you have to. That's a big thing to take into account. So this was Monday's low. Tuesday went down and swept that. So what can we see on what's a characteristic on trending weeks, right? So this is something where this is when we start to play the weekly profile into it because you also have to account for the day that we're in, and it is Wednesday, right? And then of course we're checking the um, Forex Factory to see our news. But just disregarding that, with weekly profiles, what can we typically see on a Tuesday? Right? We could see the low or high of the week be made. What did Tuesday do? It went lower. It swept Monday's low. It swept this prominent daily swing low right here. One last sweep and then big displacement up. Back into the new week opening gap. What did overnight do? We trade it back down into this imbalance right here. If it went and inverse this, then there's really no imbalance for us, our PD arrays down here for us to kind of look at. So I would have expected lower prices, but what did we do? We respected it. We respected this 1 hour fair value gap that was in line with the daily volume imbalance midpoint right here and the low. Um, and right around that weekly opening price right here, which is the low of the new week opening gap. So right now, to me, order flow looks bullish. What are there any smooth edges that I can see on this time frame? My eye goes up to right here. That poked it, but this is still very smooth to me. That's not enough. So for bullishness, my best case scenario, and again, this is the process. This is putting everything together. My bullish scenario, best case scenario for today, if this is going to be the low of the week, which it might not be because in this market with the consolidation and the manipulation and volatility that we've been seeing, many times what I'm thinking is the low or high of the week or low or high of the day, it ends up getting ran. I have to be more okay with being wrong in these environments, and I would really just again say my um, accuracy with the daily profiles and things like that, it's been much lower than usual because of the consolidation profile we're in on the higher time frame. So that you can't get upset by that. You kind of just gotta, take it on the chin and um, accept it. That's how it's gonna be for the time being. Um, okay, so best case scenario up here. This is our previous day high right here. It looks like we're drawing towards that. We're above the midpoint of the new week opening gap right here. This is an hourly order block, so I just want to keep that into account. So now we want to go down to the 15-minute time frame and kind of mark things out here. Okay, so we saw that this is a 15-minute BISI right here. What did overnight do is it left, there were these equal highs from yesterday. So now what I'm doing is I'm determining what happens prior to where we're at right now. And can that help me determine what's going to happen in the future? And I'm using this based off of profiles that I know are reoccurring in the market. What do we know that London can do a lot of the times is create the low of the day, low or high of the day. There were these relative equal highs, smooth highs right here overnight during Asia. Well, actually, it's not. It was actually previous day, PM in Asia. So this is kind of where I can also use my indicators for lower high, session lows or highs. So we had these smooth highs right here, Asia high, Asia low, right? So what we did overnight is we went down, midnight opens, we take out, I would be okay with saying that this is London low. London low takes out Asia low right here. If we're talking about strictly kill zones, this is your London low, but not just focusing on kill zones, this is your London low. And it swept Asia low inside of this 15-minute BISI. Did it touch that 15-minute order block right there? Yes, it did, right down to the tick, right? So piecing the puzzle pieces together. Now it becomes a little bit more, I gotta hurry up because we got 5 minutes till open. Went down into here, and now we are seeing on the hourly time frame bullish order flow. We're seeing the 15-minute support that right here. We're seeing daily profiles kind of play out where London low creates the potential low of the day. Again, I could be wrong because there have been many scenarios like this where I think this is going to be the low of the day and then price just absolutely tanks and takes this out and then shoots higher. So it's you got to play the environment that you're in. 15-minute order block hit right there. Hourly fair value gap used to go higher. Hourly fair value gap used right here. I should mark this out. Previous day high. And then I'm like, what I'm really focused on lately is smooth highs and lows. So now that I can determine that I'm pretty much looking for higher time frame bullishness and a continuation higher, I want to see down on like the 5 or 1 minute time frame, primarily the 1 minute, where are the smooth edges? And you can see right away. This is why this is my favorite draw on liquidities because it's so easy to see. So you got all of these right here, right? And this also happens to be your pre-market high. Why is it the pre-market high? Because it is from 7 a.m. up until now. There's your 7 a.m. price. This is the highest high within since then. So those are smooth. If we're going to see a sell-off, well, right now we have these smooth lows, which are pretty much getting hit. If we get real bearish, where else is the smoothest? I see down here. Right now, I wouldn't really want to see that because we have this hourly order block, and that's also a 15-minute fair value gap. So what do we know about higher time frame order blocks? Whenever there is my voice is going to crack because I don't, when I talk this much, my voice gets dry and then it cracks, just so you know. Um, Hourly order block, what do we know about order blocks is whenever there is a lower time frame fair value gap aligned with it, we like that. And it's in line with the midpoint of the new week opening gap. Okay, so again, using those quadrants. There's not really daily quadrant wicks that I like because of this consolidation profile. Like we could use this one right here, but again, there's so many. Plus, if we go down to, which I'm going to go to in a second, the lower time frames, like the 1 minute right here, and I can take this off. We are trading in a bunch of opening range gaps right now. This is Monday's, this is yesterday's. So that's really what I'm focused on right now is those two opening range gaps. And then we're also going to have the one today. So that's what I'm doing next is I want to mark out my previous day settlement. And then I want to determine, are we going to have a gap open higher or a gap open lower? So it's going to be a gap higher. It's going to be a premium gap. So how can I frame a bullish bias off of that? We could see a return down to midpoint. Where is that approximately going to be? Because what do we know already with opening range gaps? 70% of the time, the midpoint is going to get hit within the first 30 minutes. Okay, so really with the first 30 minutes, the opening range, we could have a bearish bias towards that midpoint. But we also want to determine, would we want to see the midpoint get hit based off of our bias and with higher time frame PD arrays around it. So right now, based on approximately where we're at, midpoint's going to be somewhere around here. We wouldn't want to see us fill the gap because then it would be going through that hourly order block and that 15-minute order block. And then we would probably be looking at these lows down here or a return into the daily volume imbalance. So I'm trying to hurry up right here. We're about to open. But yeah, these, so I have yesterday opening range gap. I have Monday's opening range gap. In blue, and then new week opening gap is in black. Okay, so we just swept these lows. And now I just want to get my other time frames on here for entering. So hopefully that helped. It's kind of just like walking it down right there. Um, this is a 15-minute order block here too, in line with the 15-minute fair value gap, so we could see us go even farther, a little bit farther below the hourly order block. I like all these smooth highs up here. Um, Previous day high, and then that daily volume imbalance. Okay, opening in 10 seconds. Previous day settlement, 737.5. There's the open. See if we get stab lower first. I want to make yesterday's opening range gap red, and we'll make today's green. I like making the current day's green. All right, so we're getting a immediate move higher right here. We have 10 a.m. news. Equal highs hit after sweeping relative equal lows. High of the new week opening gap. Hourly order block got hit nicely right there. So right now what I'm looking at is, are we going to leave midpoint untapped and just go higher towards these buy side targets, or are we going to have this initial sweep higher, get breakout longs going, manipulate lower, and then save these for later? Again, it's a little bit harder to determine with being in consolidation. A lot of times what you think is going to happen, they end up leaving liquidity or um, going right near it and then sharp move away from it, and you think they're engineering that, and then it ends up just never getting hit. Been seeing that a lot lately. Smooth lows, smooth lows. Where'd my previous day settlement price go? Oh wait, no, 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 no. What am I doing? That's yesterday's. We got news at 10, so I'm not gonna force anything unless it's obvious before then. Let me double check what news it is. ISM services, PMI. Yeah, so red folder news. I also want to check out where new week opening gaps are. All right, so we got a couple new day opening gaps, new week opening gap up here. Obviously, we're trading in this week's new week opening gap. So there are some gaps up here that could be used as a means of targeting. But again, I don't want to just go out the gate and chase this, because what they've done is they swept buy side first at the open. And we're going to see if they want to return it down here at all. Holding the high of that new week opening gap there. Oops. So yeah, I would have liked a move lower first, obviously. I don't like how they went directly for these highs first. Or I shouldn't say I don't like it. It's in direction of my bias, but I would I would have preferred they had a manipulation lower first for like that little classic 930 Judas. But we did sweep these equals. We went into a couple PD arrays that are on the higher time frame right here, so it makes sense why we're moving higher right now. But again, there's nothing for me to do at this point. I did a little bit of Asia trading, or yeah, Asia session trading last night. Um, so I am up a little bit already on the day. This is interesting. Swept that initial high. Let's see what they would do with this. I know you can probably hear the clicking from my mouse, and I'm sure it's annoying as hell, so sorry about that. Then you get a new mic. A lot of quadrants right here, kind of bunched up. About to get our first presented fair value gap. Oops, not second. So initial move higher, low, one swept that. Now moving lower, first presented fair value gap, midpoint of the opening range. Looks messy. I typically have these on the other screen, on my top step screen, but I just wanted everything on here for clarity purposes, and it's just better when going over my analysis. I don't really trust this. I think I think it could definitely work out where we do something like this, but it's just not like a, I don't know. It's not a fair value gap that one goes aligned with my bias. Like you could look for a scalp down to this initial low and then midpoint of the opening range gap, but we've got a couple things against us where we got news at 10 a.m. and this just, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a great fair value gap to me, and it's kind of hard to describe. Well, one, it's not aligned with any quadrants, so that's a factor, and two, it's just I don't. We're trading into this right here. Like it very well could just hit that and dump, but it's not something that I really want to be a part of right now. But I do believe that this could take us, yeah, down here or midpoint. So that's what I would be watching. See if we get a 15-second right here. I'd be watching this. Hit midpoint of that wick. There you go. So order block. Watch this initial low. So I'd be looking for something like that down to midpoint, and I'd probably be break even by now because we just hit the opening price. If not, definitely break even after sweeping initial low. Midpoint of this wick was also this 15-second order block. I wouldn't really be using this to go short. I would be waiting to see, can we hit that and then create like a 5 second right here without taking these lows. All right, so we took those lows. But yeah, then I wouldn't use this one because we had swept those lows. See this sweep. We're going into that hourly order block again. Just tapped it right there. Those are all smooth. I would still want to see us hold firm in this and then continue higher. Because again, if we take a look at higher time frame right now, it could be a scenario where you get buy side first, get the breakout buyers in, then sell side second, where you are hurting everyone who was a breakout buyer and then enticing people to go short, and then the real move occurs to our higher time frame draw up here. And if we just melt through this, then I'm just wrong. And again, it's not uncommon for me to be wrong in these conditions with my higher time frame narrative, or not narrative, but higher time frame bias. Like I said, we could come all the way back down to London low when I would not even expect that at all. I mean, these are relatively equal right here, but I wouldn't want to see that. I would want to see us hold firm here. We got smooth highs up here. And order flow overnight, like we went in the like we went over at the beginning of this, is bullish right now, and so I'm not going to try and pick a top. Like this is a very nice scalp right here, right? This is using opening range logic and opening range gap logic, and first presented fair value gap after a sweep of session highs, right? If I was to short though, I wouldn't have even used the first presented fair value gap. I would have used this 15-second SIBI right here with a stop above here. But I thought that, given this volatility and given the, um, I mean, you saw yesterday, like the first couple minutes looked really good, kind of like it did here, and then it just died for the remainder of the AM session. So Probably have a little bit of scar tissue from that on not wanting to be so eager to engage and have a tight stop like this, because this would have been the trade right here. And for clarity's sake, I like this 15-second SIBI because what it did is it's showing bearish order flow after hitting the first presented, and then this low was not swept yet. We went up, took this little swing high right here, and then had displacement without taking this and an order block that's through this quadrant and gradient level right here, so that's why I would have taken that. But again, like I said, I did not want to short up to this point, and that would have been targeting the midpoint right there, and I would have been break even right now at the sweep of the initial low right here. But again, that's not what I was looking for. I want to see higher prices. I can even kind of do this with the 15-second or 15-minute, refining that hourly order block. So now what we've done is we have swept the initial low, which was also relatively equal right here. See, we went lower, and it's a little bit better if you see it on the 15-second. We went lower, create relative equal lows, went higher, swept 15-second or 15-minute order block, sweeping initial low. So I'd want to see if we could get some momentum right here to the upside. I want to remember we have 10 a.m. news. And I want to see if 5-second order flow is being respected here. It's through that 930 price. Let's see if we can get a fair value gap here. Buy side first, sell side second. Order block right through the midpoint of that BISI. Looks like we're already, I might not even come back down here now. And we just hit first presented fair value gap, so it's kind of not ideal. Now it's tough because we just went up to first presented fair value gap, swept that high, and we're seeing some pretty big rejection right there. And this is now something that's not as favorable for me. $9.50 macro in about a minute. I really don't think this is a bad trade. Okay, so we got midpoint of this long wick right here. See if we can get a 15-second SIBI or BISI. Would have preferred that we did not take that high. We already did. Some crazy volatility, man, on a 15-second chart. From midpoint of this BISI to this low is about 30 handles. That's volatility. From here to here, that's damn near 100 handles. That's insane. Looks like nothing. Yeah, so I would have taken this 15-minute BISI or 15-second if we didn't go up and take this high or sweep these relative equal highs right here. Just makes it less likely to hold. And now we're seeing that move lower. First presented fair value gap still holding. 950 macro just hit. 10 a.m. news in a bit. And now if you kind of take a look, step back, we're kind of ranging, right? Where's my... Am I tripping? Okay, I'm not. Oops. These are smooth. From yesterday, Asia. And it's relatively equal with this high now. So um, further leans into our bullish bias. Looking at the midpoint of this wick. I think I'm just gonna chill with news in 6 minutes. I wouldn't want to get wicked out on anything. See if this wants to be used as inversion. I do like the order flow we're seeing right now to draw towards this high, previous day high, the daily volume imbalance, but it just kind of sucks that we got news here in a sec. What would this stop be? It's just 50-point stop. It's not bad. It's tempting. I don't need to force it. No reason to force it right now. Yeah, news in 4 minutes. Don't force it. Don't be dumb. I'd be pretty nervous right now if I were in it. If you tune into the stream not too long ago, after I kind of explained some of these things, you're seeing all these random ass levels here. These are previous day and current day opening range gap levels. So this is Monday opening range gap, the blue one, and that is this here, this big opening range gap. We're currently in regular trading hours. So if you go to the bottom right, you have electronic trading hours where it shows the overnight session, and you have regular trading hours where it only shows New York session trading. So this is the gradient levels of Tuesday's opening range gap. That's in red, which is yesterday. And then we have Monday's opening range gap, so 2 days ago. That's in blue. And since these are two big imbalances right here, two big gaps, we're trading all within them. I want to have those marked in those gradient levels because I'm looking for the levels that overlap those. And that's kind of like me saying that honestly helps me because I'm was about to potentially take a long on this that doesn't overlap anything, and it's a couple minutes before news. So that would have been a bad trade by me if I took that. I'm happy I didn't take that. Even if it does work out, it's just it wouldn't have been following the plan here. So sometimes you just gotta sit back, remind yourself, um, there's no reason to force anything. Price, it's very easy for price to entice you. Um, so I mean, when I'm sitting here by myself, I'm talking to myself just like this all the time, right? You got to, in my opinion. You sound crazy, you look crazy, but it helps me at least. Oh, and then this the black dashed line is the new week opening gap, current. It's large. So we're in a bunch of areas right here, right? A bunch of overlapping gaps, which can cause it to be a little bit hard to navigate. It gives us a lot of levels to work with, but the runs are not going to be as sustained. All right, news here in 50 seconds. Now this would be an order block I would want to see hold. It might not because of news, but this is something that I would like because one, it went into this BISI right here and couldn't reach the midpoint. Two, I'm bullish towards these highs up here, and this previous day high, and 3, it's overlapping 3 different quadrant levels right here. There you go. And then look at the bodies on that 15-second chart, respecting that. There's that high. And then remember we went back and looked at these relative equal highs on the 1 minute chart over here. That's these. But yeah, that was a good order block. There's those highs that just got hit. We got previous day high up here. This is the high of the new week opening gap. That's this level right here. It's the high of the new week opening gap. Best case scenario, buy side, remember I said is up here. Let's see if this holds right here. I don't really like that risk to reward. I'd rather, feels like I'd be buying in a premium. Body's respecting that though. I do like that. And then really have to see that run to best case scenario, but because this is what I would want to hold for because of the risk to reward. But we have a couple things. We have previous day high right here, and then we have that daily volume imbalance. We have to get through all of that. So, okay, good job. Good job staying still. This is unfinished business to me, though. In my opinion, it's been a tough morning up to this point. I called out a few trades. I called this one, but I wanted to see midpoint of the opening range gap. I called this one right here, and then I called this order block to go higher, hit that, but that was right before news, so I didn't want to take that. So, yes, it is kind of annoying where there's these different, or a few trades where obviously I would be making money off of, but, um, it's just, you gotta come at it with the mindset of being a risk manager first, protecting your capital. I'm only looking to take things that I'm extremely comfortable with right now, especially in these conditions. I don't think we're done up here. I think we keep going. But again, hard to frame a trade off of this because it's straight up, oops, straight up right here, and then straight down right here. So like what, even if I am trading based off of a lower time frame, like the 15-second or 5-second right here, like this, it's just not a great range to work with. Structure's not good. Again, looking at this new week opening gap high right here, it's an important level. Then look at how the candles respected, what is that, Monday's? Yeah, the blue one is Monday's opening range gap. Went right up to that high. So these are, obviously I didn't want to do it in this scenario, but because I'm bullish, but those are instances where if I'm looking to build a position, and I don't do this often, I have to be very confident. I could even, I would have, you could short by sweeping this into like a key level right there. First presented. It's honestly not bad. I was thinking about this right here. Yeah, that's a miss. That's probably something I should have taken. Hit that 1 minute order block, went up, hit midpoint of the first presented fair value gap, went up, order block, BISI, right on top of that, new week opening gap high right there. People are probably going to try and short this move right here, and it's one of those that I would like to fade. So that was a miss. I should have taken that. Be looking for something like that. Even really just previous day high right there. It sucks, but what are you gonna do? I didn't take that. I'm still open to, but we'll see. You'll hear it when I take something. It'll say, you'll hear the order filled. I just don't want to get caught chasing. Mm, 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 mm. I just don't want to get caught chasing because we're so close to buy side right here. Tough situation. It's tough. See, this is what I kept thinking that I would see once I entered, so I'm happy I didn't enter right there. But now we have relative equal highs right at the previous day high right there, so that's something to target. Man, I'm glad I did not. I was very, very close, and it would have been a chase. It's a common characteristic of something that I can do when, like, I call a move right here, and I want to see it higher, and then I end up just taking an entry that's two premiums because I am a little bit upset that I missed this long that I wanted right there. Relative equal highs, so buy side, then sell side. Don't go take that high yet. Damn. Went and filled that right away. I was about to take this Bissy right here. Still this 5 second. High resistance liquidity runs today. Pretty happy I'm flat up to this point, quite honestly. It's been a difficult day to navigate, or not even really to navigate. I'm calling these moves higher. It's just trying to get positioned has been tough. There's previous day high. So I really like this as a continuation pattern. It's something I've taken several times this last couple weeks. By so this is our main target right here, previous day high. We have this short-term high and short-term low right here. We go up, we take the buy side right here while leaving this, while leaving previous day high. So that's the most important part is we have a higher time frame objective right here. But we take this short-term high. Breakout buyers, go lower, kill those breakout buyers and get breakout sellers here, right here. So buy side first, sell side second, move up, fair value gap. I just didn't want to take this right here. I was waiting for a reaction off of there and then something on like the 5 second. If we got like a 5 second BISI right here, I would have taken it. I didn't like how we moved higher and then took this high. And then I was gonna take this 15 second BISI right here, but it immediately went back down and did not make the imbalance. So that's something that I would have taken, but um, just didn't get the fair value gap right there. And then we ended up running higher. So that's what I mean when I say it's been tough. Like it's been somewhat easy, I guess, to call the direction. I've been calling higher all morning, um, but I just haven't been able to get positions. I wouldn't want to get positioned up here because to me that's just buying at a premium, and it's not something that I'm super comfortable with. Because there's been many times where I try and buy something right here, it leaves this buy side and then just comes crashing down and saves this buy side for later. And so whenever that happens, that's an easy way to get mad. Not something I'm trying to do. This is in line with the low. I am going to try that 15 second if we hit it. All right, we did not hit it. Yeah, now it's just tough, man. Now it's just tough because we're so close up here. I just haven't trusted runs like this recently because of the consolidation profile. Just going. Yeah, there were misses today. I mean, it's better to take no trade than a trade than you that you regret. But I do wish that I got in on this 15-second BISI. That's something that I was really contemplating. But then just I don't know. I'll have to do some studying on why I didn't take that later. I guess just seeing all of this made me a little bit hesitant to like and not too eager to get involved. Might be able to find something before we go up and hit that. All right, I want to see it reject these highs right now. Come back lower, sweep these. We might just get that run higher. It's so close. Yeah. It'd be like buy side first. All right, sell side second. Into a fair value gap, overlapping the midpoint of the volume imbalance. And remember what we said at the beginning of the live stream is we wanted to see a return up into this volume imbalance, and that's exactly what we saw. So really my only chance of getting into a trade here is if we go and take these lows. Other than that, we're probably just going to go hit this because we're so close. And we're holding the high of that volume imbalance now. Okay, so there's those highs. These are projection targets from this manipulation leg lower. So during the opening range, when we get that Judas swing, you can measure that and protract it out towards your buy side targets. So if we were to go past here, past those equal highs, this would be my first target, and then this would be my second. So that was just something that I wanted to have on the chart if I were to get entered, and it could increase my risk to reward instead of just trying to get this right here, just to increase the risk to reward a little bit, get something like that we just hit, and then best case scenario would be like up here. We might just continue running though. Oops. Because at this point, there's really not too much for me to do. I mean, all my buy side targets got hit. If you're in the Discord and you took a trade, um, post it in there. I'd like to see what people did today. Previous high is the next best target. I'd consider these relatively equal, and even this is unfilled right here. So, yeah, I'd probably be bullish for the remainder of the week. That's what the weekly profile is looking like, kind of like what we saw, or what I went over in the beginning of the live stream. Kind of want to take a look at some other markets here too, just to see, because I have a position in oil right now. It's not really doing too much today. Dollar was nice. Dollar hit targets that we called in the Discord. I had these up here, and yeah, this was nice. Looks like kind of looks like currencies are clearing up a bit. Nice relative equal highs right there. Swept sell side, went up, hit that BISI, inversion, held this BISI, nice displacement higher towards equal highs. So that was nice. Gold, I think a lot of people probably got hurt by this down move right here. I'm still bullish on gold. I think this was just manipulation into this daily suspension block right here. And I think we see a continuation higher. That's what I'm looking for on gold. SMT at the lows right here. Sell side swept on NQ right here. Swing right here. Relative equal highs up here. Yeah, I'm bullish on indices for the time being based on what we've gotten so far this week. One, two, three, four. This is last Wednesday's, so I would want this on my charts. This is last Wednesday's. I like to keep the last 5 opening range gaps or ones that are meaningful on my charts here. So last Wednesday would be 5 days, 5 business days. So we are gonna see if we have any gas left in the tank. I think we've done quite a lot up to this point. That's a 300 handle run higher. I definitely would not want to try and pick a top. This is something where if you try and pick a top, you're probably going to get burned. It gets to a point where when I see a certain number of handles in the morning, trying to pick a top would break my rules, and anywhere from 250 to 300 is right in that range, and that's this right here. So no picking a top for me. We called out the AM session profile. Since we swept highs, so we could see a buy side first, sell side second expansion scenario. That's exactly what we got right here. Um, I looked at this BISI and I didn't want to take this because we went up into that first presented fair value gap and showed immediate rejection. So, and then we had news up at 10 a.m. and we had some equal lows down here. So, with the volatility in this market, and the inability to hold daily profiles, because I said the daily profile today was bullish. Um, I just I didn't trust taking anything until after news, and then we got this buy side first right here, right here. Swept this sell side into this order block. Why isn't it an order block? Because we went down into this BISI right here. Couldn't even hit the midpoint of that, so that's indicating bullishness. And then this down close candle overlaps three gradient levels on new week opening gaps and um, opening range gaps. Hit that, went higher. I wanted to take this 15-second right here. Did not. Just hesitated. Went up. Didn't want to take this because I thought I'd be buying in a premium. I like seeing sell side swept first. Swept this sell side, and then got something right here that I almost took. It did not. And then, yeah, it just kept going higher. So it's tough when you call the move and you don't end up not taking anything. But again, that's just sometimes what happens in trading. So we're going to see if this is going to be an order block right here because this is overlapping the midpoint of last Wednesday's opening range gap, the high of this daily volume imbalance. We're just going to sit and wait. I do have profit to work with as well from Asia session. It's really not much, but um, just allows me to kind of play with some stuff. That's not an excuse for me to take any bad trades, but if we do go down and meet this, then it's something that I would consider. See if we could poke the high one last time. Got some equal highs, equal highs, equal highs. I wouldn't trust that. I think it's going to end up making some more smoothness up there.
Order filled.
I'm going to try that. Very, very small size. Just from this order block right here, try and get up to these highs. Very, very small size to the point where I do not care at all if I lose. So again, this is the high of the daily volume imbalance. I'd want to see that hold, and then I'm considering this action right here balanced with all these wicks like that. And I want to see this be a breakaway gap. And then this is the order block I'm entering off of. We already closed below midpoint of that order block, so it's not ideal. But again, we have the high of that daily volume imbalance that I'm kind of relying on. I don't want to see this be inversion. It may very well be inversion because I wanted to see this be a wick. But again, I'm risking amount where it's kind of just like play money.
Order filled.
All right, so I'm out right there. That was like literally like a $30 loss. I'm still up on the day from Asia. This was used as inversion right there. We are going back down into the daily volume imbalance right here. I'd be looking at this. So these overlap the lower quad of that of last Wednesday's opening range gap and the midpoint of the daily volume imbalance that we're in right now. So I want to see if we can get some support. I'd still consider these relatively smooth. I don't want to get back in there and try and force anything though, just because we took like my major buy side already. But yeah, this volume imbalance is kind of like our last. I wouldn't want to see us go below here. I'd want to see this hold. So I'm going to be looking on the lower time frames right here for to see if I can get anything else to enter in on. going to have those quadrants there. Coming up on the macro here, 1050. All right, just hit midpoint. That's important. I don't want to see this be wick. Just hit the lower quad of the volume imbalance right there. Let's see, 5-second chart. Yeah, I'd want to see us start to show some strength here. So this is right over the midpoint of that volume imbalance, and this quadrant. Swept that.
Order
Let's try that
filled.
5-second right there. This is just a very aggressive. Might be a quick L. My stop's below here. When I'm doing very low time frame, like sub 1 minute entries like this, I use very, very low size because it's something I'm still getting acclimated to. But I want to put like a little bit of risk behind it. Just so if I do get hurt, it's not like, or not hurt, but if I do lose, it's not going to be like detrimental to me or anything like that, or my accounts. It's just me putting risk behind a trade or an idea. And something that I'm getting practice with. My entry was this. And it also allows me to build into positions. So for instance, if my risk for a trade is going to be like 200 bucks, I could literally do one contract right here and risk like 30 just so I can get like the very low of the move and then start to build higher or start to build the position up once we see supporting factors. These are smooth, very smooth. I'll try. I have another limit at this 15-second right here. We'll see if it gets hit. Okay, so we just hit those. I want to see this. I don't want to see this be a reclaim BISI. Alright, so I'm going to cancel this order that's here. It's gone a little bit farther and took buy side.
Order filled.
Alright, so I got break even right there. Yeah, swept those highs and then went right back down. Alright, well, I'm probably going to call it there. Just end and break even on the week, or not on the week, on the day. Um, yeah, it was a good day in a sense. I was spot on with direction, moving higher from the opening bell. I feel like we got a nice like education session on explaining why. Like I literally walked through step by step from daily time frame all the way down to the 1 minute time frame on why I wanted to see higher, and yeah, we saw it play out. It's just my execution could have used a little bit better. Um, it could have been a little bit better today. There were multiple winning trades I could have taken that I called out, but I just hesitated on. But there were some external factors like news right here. Um, and I didn't want to buy too high in a premium, so close to targets. And my best case target all the way up here ended up getting hit. Um, which honestly I did not expect because of the consolidation profile we're in, but we have seen expansion today, which was nice. Um, so yeah, I think we'll call it there. Overall, it was a good trip or a good day, ending break even, and that's fine. So hope you all have a good rest of your day, and we will talk soon.